Welcome along everybody to a venue that was built for speed. Once an airfield, now one of the finest racetracks in the world. It's qualifying day here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix.
Hello there everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to my F1 25 My Team career mode. We have reached the halfway point of our first season. This is Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. It's, you know what, we've exceeded expectations for the first half of the season. We got a podium in Bahrain, albeit, okay, the luckiest podium that we could have got, but it still counts. We got 4th place last time out in Austria, and that seemed a lot more genuine. The car seems stronger, the upgrades we're putting on it are working, and we've got a couple of upgrades that have been bolted onto Tramnitz's car for the weekend here, so that should help us move forward too. But I do feel like how well we did in Austria was more circuit specific, like the circuit suited the car. I feel like we are going to struggle a little bit more around here, especially when it comes to tyre decks, so looking after them going to be important. But as we head out of the chicane for the first time, our first Q1 lap on a drying Silverstone circuit, gonna be honest, not a great lap, it's okay, but I definitely felt like we needed to go again, and that's what we've done. And actually, we're not looking too bad this time out, we're 6 tenths up. But with the circuit drying all the time, we had to be on the circuit at the right time to get through. And so far, again, it's looking alright, but we've dropped to 18th. And that's when I decided to gamble on soft tyres, dry tyres, for my final lap. And we had gained a second, but then I just get offline there. And we lose so much time in the little slide we had. And that in turn took away any advantage we had. So it's going to be P18 for the start of this British Grand Prix, and it's not looking much better for our teammate Maloney either. So 18th and 21st, it's not good enough.
Welcome everyone as you join us at a former Second World War aircraft base, now converted into one of the great motor racing tracks. Britain is one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every year of the Formula One World Championship, and long may that continue. This is Silverstone, and this is the British Grand Prix. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Antonelli, Jack Doohan and Ocon, Leclerc, Albon, Hülkenberg and Lance Stroll, Hamilton, Russell, Lando Norris and Sainz, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Ollie Behrman and Tim Tramnitz, Lawson, Bortoletto, Maloney and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Well, they've done so well this year, the 11th team, but that means that next year could be that little bit tougher, because as we all know, the better you do, the higher you finish in the championship, the less development time in the wind tunnel you get the following season.
Absolutely right, Crofty. It's almost like, think of it like this, a success tax. It's a nice problem to have, isn't it, really? But that's what the team are going to face moving forwards. But look, they've shown their quality so far, and I'm sure even with that limited wind tunnel time, they'll be great.
Our team's home race then at the British Grand Prix, 18th and 21st, not where we were looking at starting. Here's hoping for a better race. We are underway here, and look at the launch we've got. That is superb. As we charge down the right, look how many places we're gaining. We're already up into P12. They're going side by side into 1, and we're just taking the right line and gaining place after place. 10 places off that start, up into P8. That is extraordinary. What a start that was. And I haven't got any more words for that, really. We could not have done any better starting on softs, as that was the strategy selected for us. And we're now heading into Luffield for the first time, trying to have a little peek at Esteban Ocon. No way through there, but I'm just going to bide my time for now and get settled into the Grand Prix. End of lap 1. Ocon is in 7th ahead of us, Doohan in 6th. Tsunoda leading the way for Red Bull, but I'm pretty sure that's going to change anytime soon, as we now chase down Ocon and Doohan, currently sitting in P6. And we're a great opening lap, but like I said, this is just the opening lap. Once we get settled into the race, we've got a lot of work to do to keep the position. But at the moment, it appears we're putting pressure on Doohan and Ocon, which is where we want to be at this stage. Albon behind by about a few tenths, so he's going to be keeping us honest at this stage of this British Grand Prix. But we're more focused on Doohan and Ocon ahead. And again, trying to have another little cheeky look up the inside of Luffield. There's nothing in doing in that, and I'm looking at the tyre wear, and I'm thinking I've messed up by going on the softs. I should have taken the mediums. And look at this. This is Doohan and Ocon going side by side. We've got a bit deep, but now Ocon's off the cop's wrong as he tried to go for it. We're going around the outside. No way through there. We've gone off the circuit. Ocon's gone back through. But Ocon came off of Cobbs badly after trying to go for Doohan, and I was trying to capitalise on that. It did not work out for us, and this is Max Verstappen in P2, and I imagine Yuki Tsunoda is just not going to put up any fight to this. He does not, stays out of the way of his teammate, and Max Verstappen takes the lead. And there is Oscar Piastri battling Antonelli and Leclerc, riding on board with Antonelli, and he is just sitting behind Piastri. I think Piastri just getting the position there. But now we're having a go at Esteban Ocon. We've got the DRS down the hangar straight. I've also got Lewis Hamilton having a look. But we've taken the dive down the inside of Ocon and moved up into that P7. But we're not able to get the DRS clear of Ocon. So he's going to come back at us. And we're not able to get within the second of Doohan either. So Doohan's starting to clear off. We're covering Ocon, but look at the run! Lewis Hamilton got on us there. Down the inside, no contention. Candy for the baby. Hamilton moving up to 7th, which has now become 6th. He's cleared Doohan. And Ocon trying to get clear of us and doing so. So Ocon has cleared us, and we are now down into P9. So just falling here. And I suspect that our tyres are starting to feel a bit second best. This was a mistake to start on the soft tyres, because they're going off very fast and we are really struggling. I feel like I attacked too hard on them to stay with Doohan and Ocon and co, and now we're paying the price as George Russell gets through, and nothing we can do to fight that one. Albon is now having a look round the outside. I'm trying to fight him off. Albon banging wheels there. We've gone wide at cops ourselves. Just showing the traction that we're losing already. There's no way these are going to 10. And then I'm not sure how long the hards were going to go. So in the end, given that we made the mistake to start on the softs, the only thing we could do was take on mediums and try a 2-stop and hope that we got lucky with a safety car. So that's the plan moving forward. Hope that we get lucky with a safety car that could ultimately change everything. And at the moment we're sitting in P22 and stone dead last. So without a safety car, I think it's going to be very, very difficult, and in fact damn near impossible to claw back a competitive result. But I am going to try. And we've got a yellow flag up ahead. That's Pierre Gasly out of the race. Unfortunate for him. He looks pretty strong in the first part of qualifying, but it's just not happened. And that is not enough to merit a safety car, which genuinely surprises me as we now head on to lap 10 of this British Grand Prix. Ocon, unfortunately, is the only other two-stopper, and he's now going around the outside at Stowe. I'm trying to cover down the inside, but Ocon has got it covered with bang wheels, and yeah, Ocon taking the position. I really would have hoped with how many drivers started on softs, there would be a few other two-stoppers in the mix, but Ocon was the only other driver to adopt that strategy, so this race is really going wrong. And as we head into the one-stop territory, Lando Norris is right behind me. I'm not really going to put too much into fighting that, because he is not in our race. And in fact, he should blast past here. I'm going to use a bit of overtake. I'm going to try and defend it a little bit, but ultimately not fight that one. We did make a little bit of a love tap with Norris, but Lando getting through up into P13, and now we're stuck in P14. Still trying to push on with this strategy, but it's just did not work. And now we've made our second stop. We're in P21, catching Ocon, Hadjar, Lawson and co. So we may be able to claw a few positions towards the end of this race. It's not entirely a lost cause just yet. So the aim is to push on and just see how far up we can get. I'm thinking maybe P17, maybe P16 if we're lucky. But let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Right now then, we've got Lando Norris peeling off out of the race. It's home race heartbreak for him after looking pretty strong for a podium. And that's not the line to take. We've now got Liam Lawson limping there. So Lawson's limping with a puncture. So the one stop not working for Lawson at all. So I'm glad it's not just us that struggled there. And Lawson getting us a position. Maloney is in P17 and he's 4 seconds ahead, so I wonder, can we at least catch our teammate? Meanwhile, let's have a look at some racing up the field. We've got George Russell and he's having a look at Oscar Piastri, who is still behind Kimi Antonelli. So I think Antonelli making his strategy work better than Oscar, and Russell now coming after him to try and get with his teammate. Russell going down the inside. Piastri's gonna cover that one off though as much as he can round the outside, side by side. Now has the inside for Luffield, and they're going wheel to wheel round Luffield, and it's still wheel to wheel. Neither driver wanting to concede. Russell, I think, with a nose ahead, but Piastri going for the inside into Copse. How does this one play out? Still side by side, and so lucky there was no collision. Russell now ahead, but Piastri will have DRS. So Oscar is going to come back at George here as we watch them coming down towards the hangar straight. Piastri getting right in the slipstream of Russell. That DRS now opens. Here comes Oscar Piastri down the hangar straight. Piastri sticking his nose down the inside. Is he going to make it through? Russell to the inside for Club. Still side by side, these two having a fantastic battle, but Russell winning out on that one. And this is Charles Leclerc in third, fighting Yuki Tsunoda in fourth. Leclerc will be wanting to hold on to a podium here, but Yuki Tsunoda just too quick as he heads down the hangar straight. Lewis Hamilton having a great home race in second, but Yuki Tsunoda is going to deny Ferrari a double podium by sweeping round the outside and taking the position. And Jack Doohan, who looks good for a point here, Hulkenberg has decided he wants to deny him, and round the outside goes Hulkenberg, and he gets the move done before the braking spot. So Nico Hulkenberg getting a point for Sauber. We're now having a battle with Isaac Hadjar for P18. We're going to go round the outside of him, and we simply make that one work. Hadjar not really fighting us on that one. We've got Ocon and Maloney ahead, and we've got Lance Stroll limping very slowly, holding it all up for us, so we could find ourselves catching up. Ocon's got ahead of Stroll, Maloney getting ahead of Stroll as well, so catching Maloney's going to be difficult, but we might be able to get past Lance Stroll here and secure P17. We're going to go round the outside of Luffield, going wheel to wheel in Luffield. Will Stroll hold on? No, he does not. We go round the outside. Stroll's now coming back at us in Woodcote, and we go side by side. All this over P17. Stroll eventually backs out though, and we take the position. And that is a pretty audacious move for the position. Risk-reward factor way off there. Max Verstappen wins, but on this final lap we're still not secure because here comes Isaac Hadjar round the outside trying to get P17. He's got so much better grip round the outside as my tyres are finished. To the inside Hadjar goes, but we managed to hold him off and we're going to secure P17. P16 and 17 is, yeah, a bit rubbish. Bit of a rubbish day at the office. Wrong strategy, but it is what it is.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
And of course, what 3 race victories, a hat-trick of wins, does for a driver's confidence is huge going forward in the championship. You know, they've got the energy on their side now, and it's for the others to try and stop this progression of victories.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved watching that action today, and I'm sure these 3 have loved taking part. Here come our podium finishers. One of the all-time greats celebrates yet again. It's another podium, it's another top step for Max Verstappen. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Well, Max Verstappen just heads and tails ahead of everybody else. Hamilton gets second, Tsunoda grabbing third, then it's Leclerc, Antonelli, Russell, Piastri, Sainz, Albon and Hulkenberg, your point scorers. I'm really having to adapt my driving style on this game though, so that we're not completely killing our tyres, but it's proving very difficult. I'm having to really adapt, and here I feel like we had the wrong strategy and we should have started on mediums and tried the one stop onto hards, but at the end of the day we made the mistake now and we're going to learn from it for next time. We're still figuring everything out, but in terms of today's result, just a race to forget, really. And a learning experience for us. We weren't lost, so that's something, but with the upgrades on the car, we should at least be challenging for points. Like, I think if we'd had a one-stop strategy, we might have been able to finish sort of 11th, 12th, maybe P13 at a push, but what can you do? Move on to the next one. Frustrating day. Just move on and focus on the next races ahead. That's the plan. We're still sitting in 7th in the Constructors. We're actually equal with Aston Martin, so still I wouldn't say doing too badly. Thank you for watching this instalment of Career Mode. Please leave a like and hit subscribe if you're new and you want to see more content from me. Till the next time, I have been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day.